what are acids and bases. But what are hard acids and hard bases? This is something newer to you. And what is the requirement of studying acids and bases as hard and soft? What is their classification? How do we classify acid and bases as hard and soft? This is what I will be dealing in my upcoming lecture today. So, before starting with the lecture, let me tell my lecture plan. So, my lecture plan goes this way. First of all, I will be dealing with the different concepts of acids and bases. Then I will be defining the hard and soft acid and bases. Thereafter, we will classify acids and bases as hard and soft. Then we will study is there any relationship between the acid base strength and hardness and softness, and in the end we will study the HSAB principle. There are different concepts which describe acids and bases. The first concept among them is the Arrhenius concept. According to Arrhenius concept, an acid is a substance which dissociate to give a proton, that is H positive ion, when dissolved in water. For example, we have hydrochloric acid. When we dissolve this hydrochloric acid in water, we get a proton and chloride ion. Since this acid is giving a proton in water, therefore it is classified under Arrhenius acid. Arrhenius base is a substance which dissociates to give hydroxide ion, that is OH minus ion, when dissolved in water. For example, we have sodium hydroxide and water. When these two react, they form sodium ion and hydroxide ion. Since sodium hydroxide is giving hydroxide ion, therefore it is categorized under Arrhenius concept. So, these two are the example of Arrhenius acid and Arrhenius base. The next concept is Lowry and Bronsted concept. According to this concept, an acid is a substance which donates a proton to other substance, while a base is a substance which accepts proton from the other substance. In general, we can say acid dissociates to give a proton and the remaining part is called the base. As for example, we have acetic acid and water. In acetic acid and water case, we see that acetic acid, it gives proton which is taken up by the water to form hydronium ion. Hydronium ion is nothing but simply water plus proton, and the second thing which remains is the acetate ion, which is a base. So, such pair of substances which can be formed from one another are called conjugate acid base pair. As in this case, in the case of acetic acid, we can see that acetic acid is giving a proton, and after giving a proton, acetate ion remains. So, acetic acid is a acid because it can donate a proton, while the acetate ion is a base because it can take a proton. So, acetic acid and acetate ion are conjugate acid base pair to each other. Similarly, water and hydronium ion, these are conjugate acid base pair to each other because water can take up a proton and hydronium ion, it donates a proton. Therefore, water and hydronium ion, they behave as conjugate acid and base pair. Another concept is the Lux flood concept. There are certain acids and bases which neither have a proton nor hydroxide ion. Then how do we classify them as acid or bases? In these cases, an acid is a substance which accepts an oxide ion, while a base is a substance which donates an oxide ion. As for example, we have calcium oxide and silicon dioxide. These two combine together to form calcium silicon trioxide. In this case, we can see that calcium oxide is donating its oxygen to silicon oxide, so as calcium silicon trioxide is formed. Since calcium oxide is donating its oxide ion, therefore it behaves as a base, while silicon dioxide, it is accepting an oxide ion from calcium oxide, therefore it behaves as an acid. So, this is an example of Lux flood concept. Another example goes this way. We have lead oxide and sulfur trioxide. Here lead oxide, it donates its oxide ion to sulfur trioxide so as to form lead sulphate. In this case, lead oxide behaves as a base because it is donating its oxide ion, while sulfur trioxide, it behaves as an acid because it is accepting an oxide ion. So, this is also an example of Lux flood acid and base. Another concept of acid and base is solvent system concept. In this concept, an acid is a substance which increases the concentration of a cation characteristic of that particular solvent, while a base is a substance which increases the concentration of an anion characteristic of that solvent. As for example, autoionization of water. In autoionization of water, we see if two molecules of water they react together, they form a hydronium ion and an hydroxide ion. This hydronium ion is formed by accepting a proton from the second water molecule, and the remaining part is the hydroxide ion. This hydronium ion is the solvent cation, while hydroxide ion is the solvent anion. So, whenever the concentration of solvent anion increases, it will behave as a, according to solvent system concept, it will behave as a base, while whenever the concentration of hydronium ion increases, it will behave as an acid. There are many other examples which include ammonia, in which autoionization of ammonia takes place. All these come under solvent system concept. Apart from them, we have a very important concept which classifies acids and bases, and the concept is Lewis concept. Lewis concept is required because there are certain substances which neither have a oxide ion nor it have hydroxide ion or proton, then it is difficult to classify such substances. So, in these cases, Lewis has defined acids and bases in a very good manner. According to Lewis concept, an acid is a substance which can accept electron, and who will accept electron? Only those compound will accept electron which are electron deficient, because since these have deficiency of electron, these can easily take up electron and hence they will behave as acids. While a base is a substance which donate electrons. These can donate electron because these have extra electron, that means they are electron rich compounds. As for example, we have a proton. When it reacts with ammonia, it forms ammonium ion. A proton is a substance, we can say, which have no electron. It does not contain any electron, that means it is an electron deficient compound. While ammonia, it has, in ammonia, if we look at the structure, we can see that nitrogen contains a lone pair of electron. So, it is an electron rich compound. So, in this case, ammonia donates its electron to the proton and hence ammonium ion is formed. So, we can say that proton is an Lewis acid while ammonia is a Lewis base. Another example of Lewis acid and base is boron trifluoride and ammonia. When these two combine together, they form a complex. In this case, boron trifluoride is an electron deficient compound because the octet of boron is not filled. Since the octet of boron is not filled, it can easily accept a lone pair of electron from the nitrogen of ammonia, which is electron rich compound. Therefore, BF3 it acts as Lewis acid while NH3 acts as Lewis base, and these two combine together to form BF3 NH3, a complex. Now, coming on to hard and soft acid and bases. When we study coordination chemistry, we find that there are certain ligands and metal ions, and we do not have any hydroxide ion or any proton or any oxide ion. Then how do we classify these elements or these compounds as acid and bases? So, here is the need to classify acid and bases as hard and soft. This is why we study hard and soft acid and bases. Because in coordination chemistry, certain ligands form stable complexes with heavier ions which have nearly full d orbitals, while other prefers to form bond with lighter ions with no or lesser number of d electrons. And based on this preferential bonding, metal ions and ligands are classified into two categories, and those two categories are the hard and the soft. And this hard has acids and bases under it. Similarly, soft also has acid and bases under it. So, we have four classes: hard acids, hard bases, soft acids and soft bases. This is what is called hard and soft acid and bases. Coming on to hard acids. What are hard acids? If we look at hard acids, we will find that these are the light metal ions with no or lesser number of d electrons, light metal ions which are in high oxidation state, metal ions with small size like alkali metals and alkaline earth metals, and metal ions whose electron cloud cannot be easily polarized. Since these metal ions have small size, these have less number of d electrons and these are in high oxidation state. That means having small size, these have very less electrons around themselves. So, they do not have a bulky electron cloud around themselves. So, the electron cloud does not easily get polarized or distorted. Then what are soft acids? Soft acids are basically heavier metal ions with nearly full d orbitals in lower oxidation state and large size, and the electron clouds of these soft acids can be easily polarized because these metal ions have large size and they have nearly full d electrons, that is these have many electrons in their valence shell. So, these have a bulky electron cloud around themselves, and since the electron cloud is very bulky, this can be easily distorted, or in other words we can say this can be easily polarized. Then what are hard bases? Hard bases are the ligands which prefer to form stable complexes with hard acids. So, in simple words we can say any base which form a stable complex with a hard acid will be a hard base. These are anions or neutral molecules which are not easily polarizable. Similarly, soft bases are the ligands which prefer to form stable complexes with soft acids. That means, we can say any base which form a stable complex with a soft acid would be a soft base. These are anions or neutral molecules which are easily polarizable. Coming on to the classification of acids as hard and soft. We have classified acids as hard and soft acid. Apart from these hard and soft acid, we also have some borderline acids. These borderline acids are the acids which are neither too hard nor too soft. So, these come under the category of borderline acids. In hard acids, we have proton which is a hard acid. We also have alkali earth metal ions, alkaline earth metal ions and other metal ions which have nearly empty d orbitals or very less electrons in d orbitals. These have small size as I have already told. So, all these metal ions, these come under hard acids. Then we have soft acids. In soft acids, we have metal ions like copper positive, silver positive, gold, titanium, mercury, all these single positive and other metal ions which have large size, and these have nearly complete d orbitals and their electron cloud can be easily polarized. Other examples are tin plus 4, we can see this is an example of hard acid, titanium plus 4, zirconium plus 4 and so on. We have many examples of hard acids, borderline acids and soft acids. Similarly, we have hard and soft acids and bases. So, acids I have already classified and shown you the classification. Here is the classification of bases. We have hard bases, borderline bases and soft bases. In hard bases, we can see we have ammonia, primary amine, hydrazine. In soft bases, we have hydride ion, R minus ion, C2H4, C6H6 and many more examples as I have shown in this table. All these are the examples of bases which are classified as hard, soft or borderline bases. Acid base strength and hardness and softness. In this, we will see is there any relation between the acid base strength and hardness and softness of an acid. So, we see that hardness and softness refers to a special ability of hard and soft interaction, and it has nothing to do with their strength. That means, we cannot say a hard acid will always be a strong acid or a soft acid will be a weak acid. This is not true. It has nothing to do with the strength of an acid. So, hardness and softness is a different concept and strength of an acid is something different. As for example, we can see that hydroxide ion and fluoride ion, these both are hard bases, but hydroxide ion is 10 to the power 13 times stronger base than fluoride ion. Similarly, sulfite ion and triethylphosphine, these both are soft bases, but triethylphosphine is 10 to the power 7 times stronger base than sulfite ion. Strong acids and base can easily displace a weaker one. So, in this example, we can see that a stronger soft base, that is sulfite ion, it has displaced a weaker hard base, that is fluoride ion, from a hard acid proton. So, this hard acid is a proton which is a hard acid, and this sulfite ion which is a soft base, it has displaced fluoride ion from this, because this soft base is stronger than the weak hard base fluoride ion. Bases sulfide and triethylphosphine are very strong towards methyl mercury cation, which is a soft acid, and proton, which is a hard acid. But we find that it is million times better towards methyl mercury cation. Since it is better towards methyl mercury cation, which is a soft acid, therefore, these are classified as soft, because as I have already mentioned, soft acid will form stable complex with soft base. Similarly, hydroxide ion is a strong base towards both the acids, but it is million times better towards proton. Hence, it is a hard base, because proton is a hard acid and it will form a stable complex with the hard acid. Fluoride ion is not a good base towards either of the acids, but it is slightly better towards proton. Hence, it is considered as hard base, because proton is a hard base and whosoever will form a stable complex with a hard acid would be a hard base. Now, coming on to the theoretical basis of hardness and softness. Bonding between hard acids and hard bases is mainly electrostatic or ionic, because hard acids have vacant d orbital which can accept electrons from a hard base. This is because we have seen in my earlier slides, as I have shown, a hard acid has almost vacant d orbital or very less electrons in the d orbitals. Since these have vacant d orbitals, so the ligand can easily transfer its electron to the vacant d orbitals of the hard acid, and since there is a transfer of electron, the bond formed would be a ionic bond or electrostatic bond. So, the bonding between hard is mainly electrostatic or ionic. In case of soft acid and soft base, interaction occurs through pi bonding. So, it is mostly covalent. This is because in case of soft acids, we have seen the soft acid has nearly full d orbitals. Since these have full d orbitals, there is no chance of electron transfer, but here pi bond can be easily formed and hence the bond is a covalent one. Coming on to my last topic of the day, which is HSAB principle, that is hard and soft acid and base principle. This principle simply says that in the formation of a coordination compound, hard acid prefer to combine with a hard base and soft acid prefer to combine with a soft base to form a stable complex. So, we can simply say whenever a hard acid will combine with a hard base, the complex formed would be stable, or a soft acid would combine with a soft base, again the complex formed would be a stable. We can see from these examples, like hard acid, when it combines with hard base, a stable complex is formed. Soft acid, when it combines with soft base, again a stable complex is formed. But when hard acid combines with soft base, the complex formed would be unstable. Similarly, when soft acid combined with hard base, again the complex formed would be unstable, because according to HSAB principle, hard and soft combination is always stable. I have one example here which states we have methyl mercury fluoride. In this case, methyl mercury cation is a soft acid while fluoride is a hard base. When it combines with HSO3 minus, where proton is a hard acid and sulfite ion is a soft acid, they easily form spontaneously CH3HgSO3 plus HF. In this case, methyl mercury cation is a soft acid and sulfite is also a soft base, and here proton is a hard acid and fluoride ion is also a hard base. So, hard soft combination and soft hard combination is not stable and they spontaneously forms soft and hard combination. Similarly, in other example, we can see methyl mercury hydroxide, which is a combination of soft acid and hard base when it combines with HSO3 minus, which is again a combination of hard acid and soft base. They spontaneously form methyl mercury sulfide, because in this case this methyl mercury cation is a soft acid and sulfide ion is a soft base, and water again is a combination of H positive and OH minus. H positive is a hard acid and hydroxide ion is a hard base. So, from these two examples we can easily say hard combination and soft combination is a stable one, while hard soft combination and soft hard combination is unstable. They easily gets converted to soft and hard combination. This was all about HSAB principle. Now, coming on to the summary of my talk. Today in my lecture, I have covered the different concept of acid and bases. Apart from that, I have described the definition of hard and soft acid and bases. We have also seen the classification of hard and soft acid and bases. Apart from hard and soft, we have also classified acid and bases in the borderline category. We have seen that the acid base strength has nothing to do with the hardness and softness of an acid. That means the hardness and softness is entirely a different concept, and acid base strength is something different from the hardness and softness. We have also studied about the HSAB principle, which simply states that hard combination and soft combination is always stable. In the second episode of my lecture on hard and soft acid and bases, I will be dealing with the application of hard and soft acid and bases, the term symbiosis, what exactly it means, and the relation between the electronegativity and hardness and softness of an acid. Thank you.